Hello, hello, hello. First of all, I want to congratulate myself for the process that I am taking right now within my educational, my continuing education, which is on my last lesson of physical science and graduating after that test. Technically, second of all, I would like to congratulate myself as well for passing a certificate within Allison with introduction to carpentry. I did well. I passed it in like 12 hours and did what I did and learned about plywood, where plywood comes from, paper, and, and many more things. And then yesterday I finished a 7 hour to 12-hour course of gardening, learning how to garden, types of roots, onion, yams, carrots, sweet potato, what manure is, how to use manure, the time of growth, understanding um, the harvest, when it's harvesting time and when to ripe, and technically flowers you can if we have, let's say, this right here, this aloe right here, we're not supposed to wet it like that from above because that causes stress within the leaves and the growth. So we always have to water it around the soils to give it a better growth. So an example would be, one second. So I don't have a thing when I can to water, but I'm getting to it. Helping my mom around the house with the growing. So we water it all around it, and basically leave it there. And when we're growing plants around windows, rooftops, patios, balconies, gardening in the backyard, we always have to make sure that they get the correct sunlight and everything. Because you cannot just put a garden in the back and expect it all to grow. Certain trees and certain plants require a certain amount of sun to provide what we like to call photosynthesis, oxygen, blood sugars, and things like that, starches. So in the windows, when we're growing them and around the windows, we always have to be spinning them around. So I think every 3 days or every 2 days or 3 days, you have to come to the window and spin them around so the sun won't destroy half of the tree or half of the plant. So if this side right here has been on the sun for 3 days on the window, we come and spin it around and give this side right here a chance to get some sun, and this side right to chance 3 days of shades. And if we are growing them within the balconies, we can actually have ourselves a a multiple plants to help each other protect each other from the wind because the wind gets too strong. So they all have to receive wind and air and all that to keep providing more life and energy for them to live. So basically, photosynthesis is just like human consuming sun. Sun is good for your bones, and and I believe that these things have calcium, right? So calcium is bones. If a plant has vitamin C, it has bones. So plants are living things. Plants are living things, and technically, technically they have vitamin K, which is replacement of meat. So plant is meat. Plant is a human thing. Plant is humanitarian. But it's so When we're growing them in the front, we always gotta spin them too and water them from the side of the roots. Make sure that we use copper and grit to keep slugs and snails away. When it comes to carrots, carrots get carrot flies. Carrot flies is a I think it's a white or yellow, which I don't remember that much. But when I go through my notes, it gets better. Fly that comes and starts to eat your carrots from the roots. So we have to use onion. You got onions and you chop it up and you throw onions on the roots, and it protects them from being eaten. I bought property in Pittsburgh, and my plan is once I come out the U.S. and the armed forces, what I'm going to do is plant things out there and work my property. I need roots there so the earth can get stronger where I live and where I have. So yeah, watering them has to be at the surrounding of the soils. There's clay soil, sandy soil, moist soil, um, scientific soil, which is very processed. They have like pH 6 and the volumes like that. Everything's already measured. You need a pH scale to measure soil and things like that. To see the acidity in it and all the things in it. Always have to dig trenches. Trenches is like a rectangle form, like a canal, and then make sure it's like 4 inches wide, 18 inches deep, and make sure that there's no weeding around it, no weeding inside, right? So that way you can plant them right and they can grow right. So yeah, I finished that course last night, and it was perfect. It was good. I liked it. I learned about gardening. I I can, not that I can't. So I can wait for the day I leave to the U.S. Navy, which I'm a little chubby. So according to me, see, I'm a little chubby, but I got like my things made and everything. So I just got like body mass. I do apologize. See, body mass. So I got body mass, and all I have to do is start swimming. Like I'm going to the YMCA. I'm going to swim a lot. In a day, I'm going to swim at least 3 hours or 4 hours, and come out of there sweat. I'm nice and sweaty and losing weight. That in like 2 months or three, I could lose like 70 pounds or probably 60 pounds. So right now I'm 238. You won't even be aware that I'm that big. I'm just thick. Okay? So you wouldn't be aware that if you see me like I'm showing right now, you wouldn't be aware that I'm that big because I'm just 12 inch from the sides. When I measured myself with with a ruler, I'm only 12 inches from the side. So 12 inches with a ruler from the side. Get it? That's 9 inches, a quart. With my measurement, a quart is 9 inches. So with a few more inches, see, you can reach the surface, see, of my front belly. So I'm only 12 inches from the side. It's just how people learn their science and their things. So science really makes me see things more better. So going to the YMCA and registering for gym and everything, practicing on my strength. I've been doing. I did the push-ups, 50 push-ups. I mean sit-ups within 1.45 to 47 seconds. 1 minute and 47 seconds. I did it twice. I did it in the front yard, in the balcony, and I did it in the backyard, and I passed it. And then push-ups, I did 50 in less than 2 minutes. So now my biggest worry is running the 1.5 miles. 1.5 miles, I run it, and technically when I run the 1.5 miles, and I know how to do pull-ups. Pull-ups is easy. Thing is, you need to first work on your muscle and strength. You can't just go straight to the pull-ups, start doing pull-ups and killing yourself and beating yourself. You have to get the strength, the pulling strength and everything to stretch your muscles good enough, and then do a lot of push-ups and sit-ups and squats, so that when you go pull yourself, you know the angles. The angles right there is 180 straight. Then when you bend and you pull yourself up, you become a 90 in both arms. 90, 180, 90, 180. Unless you want to do 20s or 60s, and then 90s, 20s and 60s, 90s. You wouldn't go straight down because you want to keep pulling yourself. Get it? So that's one thing I know about pull-ups. So I'm first want to get straight to all my strength working, my muscle stretching, and everything. I start this month, at the end of this month. So it's gonna be a good journey once I finish all my education, which I'm graduating by the end of this week or by the end of next week. But today I'm taking a break. Yesterday I got 4 days ago I finished my introduction to carpenting. I know about all the equipments, and things like that. So basically, I learned about the planes, the I forgot the door holder and things like that. So you can't just put a door like that. So I've been going to I kind of forget things, but if I go through my notes and everything, which I always have with my things right here. See, here's my Penn Foster notes 2024. I have everything in here, my notebooks and everything. See my periodic table and everything. There's 118 elements studied. There's a bunch of elements out there free. Nuclear fission. See, nuclear fission. Then we have the way to make oxygen and hydrogen, which is with a cathode and an anode, and then the membrane in the middle. So it's wonderful. It's been good. And we have purifies anode mud. Good to purify copper, silver, gold, and all metals. So if you ever have a rust in your vehicle, whatever it is, you can just make some of this and use it on that. And then I have my Red Cross swimming. See? Water safety for parents and caregivers. So I know how to take care of people in the waters. And then I have my States of Matters from Penn Foster States of Matters, which is understanding the formulas for the gravitation constants of Earth, which is 9.8. Then the gravitation constants of the moon on 1.6. And then force of gravity, mass times gravity. How much does a person weigh? How much does a person weigh, and what is and how much is the force of gravity? Then we have melting and boiling points of metals, of certain things, alcohol, aluminum, ammonia. So I've been studying well, man. I even do flashcards. Look at that. Flashcard. I'll be like, velocity, a distance a body travels in a straight line. Correct. Centripetal forces, type of motion where the center-seeking force is the centripetal force. So that's what I do with my Red Cross. That's what I do with all my courses. So I technically know what I do. So it's wonderful, man. It's wonderful. And I also was on Coursera taking a course because most of these courses and certificates is for my family. Like when I get my home and I move my kids in, I can teach my kids about carpentry. I can teach my kids about gardening. I can teach my kids about CPR and everything. I can motivate my kids, which they are my students, to to become something in life. Look at that, Red Cross volunteer and get a tax write-off. You're free from whatever the tax was because you worked for free. You worked a 3-month contract for free, like 12 hours a week or whatever it is, and you get a tax write-off. I was in the Penn University taking this course of vitals and silicosis and dilosis, and how to understand Celsius and Celsius and Fahrenheit. I have to take care of patients, so I have everything right here. So there's my break. I am not going to be doing no tests or nothing. I might play some video games. It's been a while. I want to play Star Wars Battlefront. So Star Wars Battlefront, you're online and you're basically on planets, and you're having like a warfare with AT-ATs and AT-AT robots, the big robots, AT-ATs, and then we have the spaceships, the jet crafts. Yeah, so it's called systolic and diastolic. And basically, yeah, the pulse. I know how to take the BMP, which is how far away am I from a heart attack or heart problems. I am on 11. 11 is natural. So according to my life, my body is not stable right now. I have to go to a gym and get myself situated because I am considered third obese, but I don't look obese. But for my height, 5'5", I am basically obese because I'm supposed to be 165 to 175 or 74, 76 or whatever it is. And technically, I have to lose weight to get there, 70 pounds. 70 pounds won't be nothing for me to lose because I understand the pressure on my body, the amount of newtons holding me down because I weigh myself and I know my gravitational force within this earth. So I know my Pascal pressure. I take baths and showers with measured water, which I know the watts, the joules in it, and everything for each bucket. So it's like 9 buckets of water for me to bathe. So with a volume of 420 cc's, which is almost 20 gallons of 20 small, 33 cups of water, which is almost 15.1 gallons of water for each bucket, which I use 8 of them to bathe, or 9 or 10. So yeah, I practice everything. So I understand tidal electricity, which is with floating devices within the water. They wait until the current is made, the waves are made, and then when the current stops and there's no more waves, that's when the electricity is there to be collected. So the sun is electricity. The sun, when we are in the ocean bathing, there's electricity within the water. That's what humans don't know. But science proves it, and science reveals it to humans. There's electricity within the water, even though there's no electricity. And because the sun is atoms, and the sun is a burner. So when the sun burns, it provides burning like a battery. So if we put heat inside water, electricity, zzz, we make hydrogen and oxygen. So with the water of the ocean, the sun is making hydrogen and oxygen, which goes up to evaporation, condensation, aspiration, and becomes rainwater with water dust, nitrogen, oxygen, and all those gases up there, and making this kind of life that we live, which is called 4 seasons, 6 seasons. Water dust becomes snow. Through the coldness, the change of weather, the sun's rotation, the Earth's rotation with the sun changes, and the sun changes too. So so the sun is more now to the Caribbeans, or more to the South Americans, or more to the northern sides. So it keeps us more free of having a colder weather. So when the weather gets cold, that dust of rain, above water dust, is processed, and the nitrogen gets cold, and the hydrogen, everything gets cold. So then it becomes snow within a cloud. A cloud squeezes it and becomes snow, which I like to call freezing. I don't like to call it by snow. Oh, it's freezing outside. Because it's a process of a refrigerator. So the process of a refrigerator is the same process of snow and cold. So I learned how to use this right here. It is a pulse reader, and you can check like blood pressures and things like that. So this right here was good for me to learn, because if my own physician, my own doctor told me, hey, so you won't have to be doing unnecessary trips over here and coming over here all the time to check yourself. You can really learn on your own on how to check yourself, because it's only for like appointments and things like that. I think like important schedules. They say, oh, you want to go check yourself. You can't do it like that. That's for hospitals, emergency rooms. So, so if you get sick, you can't just go into your hospital, into your primary doctor and say, I'm sick, let check me out. You can't do that. So he said it's good to learn how to check your own diastolic, your own systolic, and your own pulse. So I did that, and technically it's been going well. So yeah, it's good. It's good right there what I've been doing, and I've been learning a lot. And technically, it's like that, man. It's like that, and learning is good, because so going through my review, systolic pressure is when we can hear pulse. So now, diastolic would be. Hold on, let me go through my notes. This just started to freeze right now. When you can't hear noise. So the systolic pressure is no can hear pressure. And then diastolic pressure is when we stop hearing what we like to call pulse. So meaning we're gonna give ourselves a try with this and see what we can do. A little small experiment and everything. And this is like gauge, which I was taking the course of it, gauge. It measures pressure and things like that. And we're gonna go ahead and experiment a little bit with this. I have the I forgot what's the name of this, because I kind of dropped the subject, and things became more about continuing education where I stay. So when we graduate from high school, we kind of know everything that we know. But at the same time, we always have to go back through our courses to understand the things of it. Because high school is just like giving you the subject and the understanding of the topic of what is science, what is math, what is this, what is that. But once you get to college, you're going to learn, or to universities, you're going to learn about what it is to do all that more personal. And then you're going to take that to a career, which the career is going to make you or me or anyone do their thing right and can take it more serious and learn more of it. But yeah, so it's called a stethoscope. Yeah, stethoscope. Yeah, I had that right there. Stethoscope. So stethoscope. We listen to the mucus of the heart. So when they're doing a check-in on anyone, and they tell you breathe heavy, and you're trying to hear your lungs and your heart breathing and everything, what they're trying to listen to is the mucus, the scratch of your heart and your lungs when you're breathing, which comes mostly from doing consuming too much acid. When you consume too much lemon acids and fluoric acid, smoking cigarettes and smoking, so technically it scratches your heart, it scratches your lungs, it scratches your breathing. So it plays, it squeezes the cavity that protects your organs. So our heart has cavity outside that covers it in a sinus way. It's like sinus. So when you smoke, when you drink too much acids, when you make too much anger, too much yelling, that that squeezes your sinus, your heart sinus, your lung sinus, because you're doing anger and raging without measuring or starting or thinking about the subject. You just went straight to the subject. So everything has to be planned before you speak, before anything. So yeah, let's go ahead and straight with this and do our diastolic and systolic and see what's my results today. First, I am going to go with my temperature. I have a thermometer with all the devices to do it clean. So I don't let nobody put their mouth on this raw. No one, not even me. I don't even put my mouth raw on the tip of the thermometer, which I tried it once. So it's not good. They said I'm supposed to have these protectors. Okay, a protector for it. So we're going to go ahead and check our systolic and diastolic. Remember, systolic is when we can hear pulse. Diastolic is when we cannot hear no more pulse. So we're going to use the stethoscope to hear the pulse after I take the temperature. I want the correct temperature. So if I put squeeze on you, if I squeeze on your veins or on our hearts or whatever on our arm, I'm only increasing the blood pressure and everything. So your temperature or our temperature comes back higher than what it is. So first we're gonna turn this. Hear it? We're gonna turn this on. Okay, and we're ready. It's on 0 Fahrenheit. Under the tongue and the glands. Hold on. We have to try one with another one. I think I pressed it. I did not calculate it well. Okay, so let's go. So I am 97.9 Fahrenheit. Well, I'm running out of pens. Like beep, beep, beep. So 97.9 Fahrenheit degree. Now let me go to my course real quick. A little bit of data science, the same way the doctor tells you your data science and everything. So your So now we're going to do in order to convert Fahrenheit to Celsius, we use the formula Celsius equals Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5 divided over 9. So my Fahrenheit was 97.9. So we're going to do the math right here. And technically 97.9 minus 32 would be 65.9. 65.9. Now times 5 over 9. Now how much is? Let's say 65.9 65.9 times multiplied by 5 over 9 equals 36. 36. So Celsius equals 36.6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals 9. So my Celsius degree right now is 36.69 Celsius degree. I am 97.9 Fahrenheit with a 36.69 Celsius degree. So now we're going to go and measure our systolic and then our diastolic. So if you guys like my channel, make sure to like and subscribe because I'm coming when I arrive back from the armed force. I'm going to buy things to experiment with, like make electricity, hydrogen, oxygen, gardening, taking care of plants. I might even involve my kids as my students and do things with nature and stuff and things like that. Buy a lightning rod, and collect a lightning boom whenever it's raining and connect the lightning so that way we can charge a battery. Can I charge a battery with a lightning rod? So it's gonna be epic. It's gonna be a good journey one day. So okay, let's go with systolic. Systolic. Diastolic. Systolic, diastolic. So we're gonna go ahead and place this right around our arm, which is better if we take out our arm. Take out our arms and we measure it like this. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap it around our arms. Bring it up here over. Place it to up. And then we're going to place the stethoscope under to hear the heartbeat. So then we want to close this so the gauge can get full of air. See right there's escaping all the way around. Guys ready? 1, 2, 3. So 120. My $80, around 80 to 60 something or 100 something. Let's do it again. 120, 120, 120. Yeah, like 85 to 90. 85. So my systolic, it's like that. It's like that. So now we have to find the pulse. The pulse, the pulse, the pulse, the pulse. So the pulse is multiplying the number of beats by 4. So you count the numbers of beat by beats you feel for 15 seconds. Then multiply the number of beats by 4. So we have to replace this right here. So now we're going to take the numbers of beats in our hands. So in 15 seconds, we're going to set the timer. 15 seconds to see how much beats do we get. So 15 seconds. I'm going to put a timer right here. 15 seconds. So we're going to go ahead. $16 to $17. So we're gonna do it again. 17. I got 17. No. So I want to get you excited about doing this, but you're going to have to do it on your own. So it's 15. So pulse is 15. Pulse is 15. 15. So now we multiply the beats by 4. So 15 times 4 would be, for example, if we count 20 beats, in 15 seconds, your heart rate would be 40. So 15 would be 30, 60. 60. Now that is the BPM. BPM. And then you can also, so a normal resting pulse rate would be an average adult is between 60 to 100. So I am good. I have a normal pulse rate. But it can be lower for more active and fit people during physical activity. Your pulse rate should be between 50% to 70% of our maximum heart rate. So We're gonna have to do this again. We did it good. So I am not at a risk of having a heart attack or anything. So oh, so everything with me is good. My BMP is 11. My pulse is 15. My diastolic is 85. Systolic is 120. I am 97.9 Fahrenheit, 36.69 in Celsius. So that is an important thing to know, guys, ladies and gentlemen, because when you're living, you want to wake up in the morning and check if you're okay to go to work, if you're okay to continue living or go or walking, if we are okay to continue lifting, doing strength and existing or whatever it is, because every morning that's how I used to get sick at work and I couldn't go to work, miss out and things like that because I used to get sick without knowing. Always end up in a hospital in an emergency room. My breathing used to get heavy. My strength, my muscles, everything used to feel weird. So it's always good to check your out. It's always good to check our blood pressure. It's always good to check our our things. So technically, that's one thing I was studying in the Pennsylvania University, learning how to measure my blood pressure and everything. It's good if you have kids, if you have students in your home, you can actually take care of them. You can actually teach them as well, because kids get happy when they see doctor things and stuff like that. When I was young, this was one of my happiness seeing instruments for doctors things, science experiments, dissecting a owl's pellet. Yeah. So I found a science on top of that. I found a science website where they sell a pig fetus. Pig fetus is like a pig that did not made it in life, or that was put down and used for science purpose. So I can learn how to dissect them, remove the organs, operate it, surgeries or whatever. And I'm gonna buy it one day and do it. I'm gonna buy the frog, the bone pellet to identify the bones, sharks, starfish, earthworm. They have so many things. Even a heart, mammal's heart, and a an eyeball, brain too, a brain to learn how to dissect things. So these are things that I want to learn. And I'm also into computer science. So computer science, removing chips, for solder. Remember, welding is like solder because solder is more like is this. It's almost the same thing, but a little more different. Because computer soldering, you don't see the fire too much like welding. When you welding, you see the fire in the tip of the thing. So and when I was young, they tell me, "Oh, I'm soldering." In Spanish, is soldando, which was a confusion because most of those guys just learned how to do those things and they did not went to school for it. They just did it because they learned how to do it and they went and do it. So soldering is for computer, and welding is for vehicles and things like that. Get it? So when you have an equipment where the fire sparks, and you see the fire sparking, you have to wear a mask. That is welder. When you're soldering with a computer, all you see is the warm heat coming up, all that. That is soldering. So computer soldering, I am learning that too as well. So when I have, telling you, man, when I come back from the Navy, I'm going to have a special basement just for all this subject and all these things. Buy a LED microscope to dissect frogs and things like that. Buy a LED microscope to fix computers and replace things. Learn how to make my own computer. So they also use flux and alloy. So we have flux and chip removing glue, chip removal liquid. So it is called chip glue removal. So meaning if the chip is glued, you use this and flux, and you use the warming, the heat up, the solder thing, and it starts to melt the glue from the motherboard, so that way you can remove the chips and place a newer chip, and then cause a cleanse to it. There's a liquid that we can use to clean the area where it's rusted, the computer. So computers are not meant to be, buy a computer today and because they're ruined, put it away or throw it away and buy another one tomorrow. We're supposed to learn how to fix our own computers and things like that. So it's gonna be a good journey, and I'm going to really dedicate myself to all this learning, because if I'm also going to learn plumbing, electricity. I'm already there with electricity. I know about kinetic energy, potential energy, final kinetic energy, final potential energies. I know about watts. I know about joules. I know about batteries. I know about horsepowers. I know about cylinders, engineering, solar energy, tidal energy, fossil energy, biomass energy, greenhouse energy, recycled energy, so windmill energy. So I've been learning all that, and I understand about all that. So I also learned about cylinders, gasoline engine cylinders, and then we have the diesel engine cylinders. Diesel engine has a pre-chamber and a chamber, a fuel injector, and a glow plug, not a spark plug. It sparks it at the outside of the cylinder, and then it causes a glow like a power plant. So it goes down, and then it turns on the glow at the tip, and the incense of the diesel within the gas chamber ignites the diesel inside the chamber. So when the chamber ignites and that is sucked into by the valves, it starts to fire. It fires the engine like a spark, and then the engine starts to work. But the piston has a connecting rod, which goes with the crankshaft, which the crankshaft moves, but it has an inertia effect to it. So inertia is that after three spins of normal spins as they go into the right, the piston is going up and up. Up is up. It puts it straight, then down. It spins it. So after it goes three this way, it stops, it breaks, inertia, and it goes back. Boom, 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 boom. That's how the vehicle starts to run. So the gasoline one is simplicity. Spark plug, The fuel gets inside the chamber, the combustion chamber, and then when we turn on the vehicle, that's why when we turn on the vehicle in a gasoline vehicle, it turns on quick. But a diesel, sometimes you have to do it 2 times or 3 times to turn on a diesel vehicle. Even if we let it cool down, if we let a diesel vehicle cool down, it won't have the enough heat, oxygen, and air inside the combustion chamber to turn on the vehicle. So gasoline is simple. Gasoline, all you do is fill up the combustion chamber, spark the plug, and the spark plug gives an electricity that combusts and burns the fuel to make it the fuel that we use to 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 run a vehicle. So basically, some people sell gasoline. Fuel has to be burned to distill it. We have to distill it to bring out the fuel from here, the fuel from there, and then what's left is oil fuel. You have gasoline, you have cathanol, then we have, I think it's called ethanol, and then we have what's left, oil fuel. So if you're just buying gasoline at the gas station, which is the regular one, regular gasoline. So you're buying regular gasoline. Regular gasoline is not like the premium or the best one. The best one is that it's complete. The gasoline is complete. So your vehicle is going to burn what we like to call gasoline, fuel, which that fuel leads to your vehicle having cathanol, ethanol, and then gasoline, and then on top of that, oil fuel. So the benefit of buying the higher fuel at the gas station is that your vehicle is really consuming power, is really consuming good gasoline, good fuel. Because remember, regular gasoline is not fuel. It's part of fuel, but it is burnt already. It's already made into gasoline. It's distilled. So whenever that happens, it's a little more expensive to maintain a vehicle. It's expensive, guys, and basically in physics science, I've been learning that I can see all my vehicles that I have owned, which the highest year was 2002. I never owned a vehicle higher than 2002. So the vehicle that I owned was a Toyota Corolla, Toyota Camry, no, Toyota Corolla, Toyota LE, and then a Hyundai from 2002. So the highest is 2002 and down to 1990, 92 around there, 1997, 1992 around there. So I can see myself buying the regular gasoline. Oh, my car is missing this. My car is failing this. My car is failing that. And it was always like that, a problem with the vehicle. But after learning physical science, I studied the piston. The piston you're supposed to take care of. The piston is important. So you need to learn. We need to learn how a piston works. Because if the piston is where everything sparks and starts, it's like the heart of the vehicle. The heart of the vehicle is when what starts the ignition, like CPR, AED. Boom, boom. They give you AED to have you running electricity. So that's a lesson I learned. And then the jet piston. So the vehicle piston goes up, down, up, down, up, down. The jet fuel piston goes like this: sides, back, front, back, front, back, front, back. So it can pump the gas. The gas can be pumped to the back of the plane, causing it to have the engine in the back running. So the engine in the back is too far away to go up and down. So if the piston is going up and down within the cylinder, up and down, That means that the fuel is going to take longer to get to the back of a plane. You have the cylinder like that, pumping the gas front and back. It goes to the back quick. Fuel. So that's another thing I learned. And I was taking chemistry, learning about atomic weight, learning about protons, protons, how ionic, what was it called again? Ionic share, something like that. Ionic share is when a borrower, an atom needs to borrow an electron. So two atoms come together and one has to borrow an electron to have a positive and negative reaction. So when this happens, it's called a ionic, meaning you might not get it back. You won't get it back. So you're going to stay there waiting on that, and you won't get it back, the proton, the electron. But the electron might grow back in you. It's crazy the way life is made, the way everything is built, the way things are done. So sometimes two atoms can connect with their electron orbital and stay connected like a universe. So that can be the solar system, our solar system connected with other galaxies. When galaxies collide with each other, is the expression which I just said that. I don't know if a scientist out there said that, but I am a very studying person, citizen of this life and of the United States. So think about it. And when they connect, that is a orbit, that is a electron orbital, and they connect and they share the same thing, and they stay together sharing. So they have ionic sharing, and the other one is, I think I forgot what was it called, but yeah, I've been learning well and doing my thing and practicing well. And yeah, man, I'm taking a break today. So you guys already know, man. Go Penguins. I live in Pittsburgh right now. I'm in my mom's house where she's about to buy a home or something like that. But I live in Pittsburgh. My property, my land that I purchased in Pittsburgh. So you guys already know. I always the best way to learn is by writing notes. Learning to style it. And taking notes. Penn Foster 2024, and basically here's my ASVAB, SVAB practice exams for the U.S. Marine, the U.S. Navies, and yeah, I've done a lot of studying and a lot of things, but this is my last month to graduate. So I could finish graduating by the end of this week. Un video. I can finish graduating by the end of this week. Y esto para el curso, for the course. So I'm graduating soon and I'm posting it. So technically, learning all this is important. Meaning it's important. Yeah, it's important. Physics matters. The weight of things, lifting things, moving things, friction and all that. So yeah, you guys already know. See you all soon, and good luck to many who are barely starting the Penn Foster the Penn Foster High School program. It's a private school. It comes from Arizona, and basically it has AI robots checking grades and not checking grades, but checking your questionnaire answers, making sure you don't cheat, making sure we don't cheat, and we don't copy other people's answers and doing things like that. So you guys already know, man. It's me, Exio Elio Cabrejan, tuning in on my day off from studies. About to go play some video gaming. I am waiting for the video game Chivalry, with the horses and the knights and the dukes and the duchess and the lords and the ladies and the dame, the knights and all that. To start a good process of everything and have a good sword fight online and everything. You guys already know. Make sure to go ahead and check out my other videos, which I posted. And I'm arriving soon to this channel with actual things and experiments of things to show, and basically get a magnifying glass and deal with the volume density of a cell. So when you're seeing a cell, you see what's inside the cell. That is the virus or the life in it, the neuron, the growth. Then you have the bubble that it's in, the space it occupies, the volume, density, and everything. Guys, right now it's me, Exio Elio Cabreja, logging out and tuning out, learning also about wave frequencies, amplitude, crest, medium, which is medium, the measuring wavelength and frequency, radio frequency, sounds, and all that. You guys already know. Stay tuned in for more. I will recommend anyone to go to Penn Foster, and anyone teaching the teaching high school is a good teach, is a good study. It's wonderful. Penn Foster is amazing, and the 1,500 is worthy. And I believe myself that this course should be worth, with what they're teaching, at least 5,000 to 10,000. But they're giving it good. They're giving it good. They're giving it for 1,500. So catch up quick before it gets very high. Catch on quick before it gets very high. You don't want to go waste 5,000, but like I said, it's still worth it. I would have still done it. 5,000 is 5,000. So to get your high school diploma, get yourself degrees and stuff like that, it's amazing. So here we go. You guys already know. I'm going to finish watering these plants. 1 second. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go. Ah. You guys already know? See you all later, and make sure to vote on November 5. I vote Libertarian because no one rules your life better than yourself. That's why I am a libertarian. Libertarian, man. We're not government products. We are births. We are all students. We're all citizens, meaning governments always change. So if you become a product of a government's always changing, meaning different people are elected every 4 to 2 to 8 years, changes. So if we become products of the government and that government is changed, then what happened to you? You left with that government. So now the government is still running and ruling, new government and everything, new government and new things, and you sank with that rulership. So that let's say everybody's with Joe Biden and everybody within the Joe Biden ministry and everything, with the whole Congress, whatever he has running everything. So if we are with him only and we become a part of him, then he leaves and you leave with them. You're now no more within the system. You disappear. So it's freedom, libertarian, man. Get to it. So you guys already know. See you all on the next video. VTO.